Hi, David. Wow, I did not expect to wake up this morning and find a video that was addressed to me but was made public for everyone to see. It was kind of awkward to watch. How's your head, by the way? I hope it's okay. I mean, project looks fantastic. Those LED cobs look great. I think I saw them on Julian's channel ages ago, and I never bought any because I had no need for them, but I do now. I've jumped in headfirst like I normally do, and I've ordered 40 of them, the warm white ones. I agree that they look nicer than the cold white. I also ordered a whole bunch of ICs, and I also ordered something else. I have an idea that might take the project a little bit left field. It'll still be kind of the same as what you're suggesting. I ordered an LS670, which is a 16-bit shift register, which would allow us to address more than 8 outputs. Let's have a look. Here's your 7-segment display, using your cob LEDs, cob, 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 cob. Almost as bad aspect ratio as yours. I hope this is the right shade of black for you though, by the way. Now that's going to work just as well as the Neo 7 segments. But the Neo 7 segment has one flaw I can't address in this particular design. It's the fact that it can't display every letter of the alphabet. Now, to be able to display every letter of the alphabet, I would need to add some diagonal pixels inside here and some vertical pixels as well. And as you can see on a 4x4, that's just not going to fit. And with a 4x4, I don't have a center pixel. So I'm already redesigning this as a new product, which is called a Neo 13 segment, which has extra segments in it to be able to display all the different letters of the alphabet. But that's obviously a major overhaul, and it's going to make it a much bigger board. But your cob LEDs are already perfect for this, because all we need to do is add a cob here, a cob, and a cob here, cob, and a cob. And all of a sudden we've got a layout that can display every letter of the alphabet. Dave Darko pointed me to a website that has a full alphabet that's designed for a 7-segment display that does things like lets you display an M like this and a W like this. And in the context of a word, they might be readable, I don't know, but they just don't look like an M and a W to me. And having all the cobs laid out like this would allow us to do an M, a W, a T, even an X. These are all letters I can't do on a 7-segment display. Not unless I use this zany alphabet, which I just don't think is going to be familiar enough for people. Obviously, this leaves us with 13 segments, and we can't drive 13 segments from the 74HC595, but the LS670 will allow us to drive up to 98 gates, so will allow us to do this and well beyond. I'm not sure if it's high current enough, and there might be a high current version, but I'm going to try the 670 anyway just to see how it goes. So I know this is quite left field, it's quite more detailed than what you were looking at doing. It's also got one other fundamental flaw, which also exists in your design, but it's completely exacerbated with this idea. Let's have a look. If we go back to your idea, we've got a cutout, and we've got the little cobs sitting inside, which I think is a really nice idea, by the way. Although we will lose having all the spill from the cob LEDs spilling onto the board, I think. We'll miss out on some of it anyway. The problem with that and being able to stick, let's say, an IC here and a whole bunch of resistors here and some caps and whatever we need is that we're not really leaving ourselves a lot of room to route traces around from here all the way around to get to these places. We can't use the back plane to route because we've still got the same holes that are blocking things off, so we've only got these tiny gaps in between. Now, if we were to do my idea, it's just going to be an order of magnitude worse because we're going to have a lot more cutouts. Even if we made the cutouts thinner, and I like the idea potentially of making them thinner, where the cob can still sit in the gap, but it's much closer together, we'd have a lot more space between here, potentially 2 or 3 times more space between the angles to be able to route multiple traces through. But we're also going to have cutouts here, and cutouts here. Even if we don't use the cutouts and we just put the LEDs everywhere, we're still going to be left with a situation where there's not enough space to stick ICs anymore. So that's a pretty big flaw of mine if we do that because there's just no place to stick ICs on the board. Not unless we made a bigger board, right, where the segments, let's say we made a bigger board where the segments were over here, and we had IC here, resistors here, and maybe a cap down here, with wires coming in there and wires going out there or something. But that's going to completely, make it heavy on one side and maybe not look as cool. So a lot of design stuff to think about here. The size of the IC is going to make a difference. Obviously, going surface mount, we can get smaller packages for everything, but then it's making it less retro and, again, harder to put together and less accessible for people, I think. That's my idea. So, what do you think, Dave? I don't care either way. I think it's a fantastic project and I can't wait to get started. Let's go.